Phillies and Brewers last of 3 tonight. There we go at American Family Field. Aaron Nola versus Freddie Peralta. The Brewers can clinch the NL Central Division title with a win, or if the Cubs lose to Oakland in the afternoon, the Phillies can clinch a postseason berth with a win or a Braves loss. Of course, they're waiting to clinch the division title in the East as well. And with the big comeback seasons from the Royals and Guardians, it's got a bit under the radar. The Brewers story might be one of the best in baseball, overcoming seemingly insurmountable losses. Let's do a little digging in. Think of it this way. The Brewers, going into the year, lost their manager, traded their best starter, lost their best starter, the second best starter, and thus lost the best closer in the game to injury. And about halfway through the season, lost their best player. That's Craig Counsell, Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Devin Williams, and then Christian Yelich. And yet, this club, losing all this talent, has the best run differential in the game and is about to be the first team to clinch a playoff berth, or very well could be. Here are the top clubs in run differential. Brewers are number 1, just barely ahead of the Yankees. By the way, that's a difference of about $200 million in payroll. 22nd in payroll, the Brewers. And then it's 3, 4, and 2, Yankees, Phillies, and Dodgers. And then you have the Royals coming in. And they've had a good run differential all year. The Brewers are number 4 in runs scored, number 2 in park-adjusted ERA. They can hit, they can defend, they can run, they can pitch. How is it happening? Well, first of all, the new manager, Pat Murphy, could be manager of the year. And they have elite talent. Offense from shortstop and catcher, enormous boost. William Contreras behind the plate, Willie Adames at short, both slugging around .470. Adames leads the team in total bases. And now Jackson Chourio has emerged. Jackson Chourio is only 20 years old, but since the start of June, he's hitting .305 with a .364 on base, the slugging .545. Weighted runs created plus, that's the overall hitting, 100 being league average. Chourio is at a .149. So they've had elite stars at catcher, short, corner outfield, even losing Christian Yelich. Now, with that offense in key spots, you can go speed and defense all over the field and not need top-end hitting to win. This is the fastest team in the majors measured by pure sprint speed. One of the main contributors showing the value of the all-around game. Maybe you've heard of this guy, Bryce Turang, second baseman, leads all of baseball in defensive runs saved, a whopping +21 at second base. And he's a plus base runner, 7th in baseball in base running runs, 44 steals to boot. So Turang is one of Milwaukee's 5 players in the top 100 in both defense and base running. Again, defenders and runners. They don't necessarily go the same. They can, but they don't have to. Turang, Blake Perkins, one center fielder, Garrett Mitchell, another center fielder, Jackson Chourio, Sal Frelick is there as well. You see, DRS is defensive runs saved, 21, 9, 7, 9, 16. Again, 0 is league average. And then the base running runs, BSR, you see the ranks there as well. All these guys can run and defend. They have 4 outfielders with this combination of skill. The Brewers are also not afraid to be non-traditional. They've used openers, they've used 17 different starters, tied for 3rd most in the majors. And on Monday night, Colin Ray, who's made 25 starts and is 2nd on the club in innings, came out of the bullpen and finished the win over the Phillies with 2 2/3 of work. And remember, Devin Williams is about the best reliever in baseball, right? But even just getting 17 innings out of him this year, the bullpen is the 2nd most productive in baseball. This is runs allowed per 9. That's the runs allowed with the innings component thrown in. And only the Guardians, who we were just talking about with Dog, and their vaunted bullpen, are ahead of them. So bullpen speed, defense, attention to detail. They play tough base-to-base baseball. But I love what they did there in that they have a lot of guys. A lot of these guys, Mark, are below league average in hitting, but they can run and they can defend, and that means a lot on the field.
And they have just enough power in the lineup to get the job done. They have 4 guys with 20-plus home runs this year. This team just finds a way to score. It doesn't, they put a lot of pressure on teams once they're on base. They walk a lot. They're 3rd in the National League in on-base percentage. They get on base, and then they put pressure on the defense and on the pitcher, and they get it done. This team, I think you said it before, best run differential in baseball. This is not an accidental record that they're winning the NL Central. Right? This is a team that has gone out there. They've been in first place every day since May 9th. And this is not, we look at some of those teams sometimes that have really good records, and you're like, oh, they're 38-6 in one-run games, and they're just squeaking by. That's not this team at all. Right? This year in one-run games, they're 26-24. In blowout games, 5 runs or more, they're 27-8. So they're taking care of their business in a variety of ways, and they just get the job done.
I saw them in spring training too, Russell. I thought they'd be good. I said, no, they're going to compete. I didn't think they'd be wire to wire. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that.
I don't think people understood what Pat Murphy was going to mean for this team. And I think this is the perfect panel because I think Mark and I have both done profiles on Pat Murphy, and you learn that he is very tough love, He is a football coach in a manager's uniform, but that works for this team. And I think being at that top set for him, after being the bench coach for the Craig Council for so long, those guys in that room trust him. Whereas another first-year manager coming from another place, you might need more time to get the trust of that room. He had it from day one. And I think they play better baseball than any team in the big leagues because they can catch, they can throw, they can run, they can field. They're fourth in defensive run saved, they're fourth in ERA, they're fourth in runs scored, they're second in OPS with runners in scoring position. So when you get that runner on third with less than 2 outs, that runner is going to score. And so when I look at the Brewers in terms of the postseason, I know they're not the sexy team. They're not like the Dodgers or the Padres who made all these moves at the deadline, but you look at them on paper and you look at the numbers and you look at the names, you're like, this is a damn good baseball.
They're going to be difficult. I would think
Yes.
so, too. Right. If you're doing all those things, all these baseball-y things, we'll do our baseball-y plays in a moment. But if you're doing all these baseball things and you have a bullpen, I think I was mentioning with the dog, and he didn't like to hear about Cleveland. You can hear that. But when you have those components in tournament baseball, in short series, and there could be some, short series here, this could really matter.
Absolutely, and it's not, sort of like Russell said, it's not the sexy names on paper, but the Brewers feel really good going into a postseason series with Peralta and Montas and Tobias Myers in their rotation, knowing that they have that bullpen to back them up. It's not Wheeler and Nola and Suarez, but these guys have been very effective all year, and when you have that bullpen behind them, they don't need those guys to go out and throw 7 scoreless. You stole my thunder a little bit on Murph. This guy has this team believing they can do anything. And he's got a tattoo on his arm that says 200 Club. And the meaning behind it is a word I can't say on TV followed by the word relentless. If you add up the numerical value of each letter, it comes out to 200. And blanking relentless, that's how you describe this team. And I think the continuity of him having been there with Council, they just kept going.
Yeah.
And
the front office as well. Remember, David Stearns was only 1 year removed. He left, and Matt Arnold was there, and Matt Klein is going to be joining us. And, everyone just moved up a spot, and everyone had been there. And you're talking 11 years or so, 8 years, 11 years. It wasn't like they had to, go out again. Now let's bring in a new regime. They've been building it. And that's what again, the quiet excellence is there with the continuity.
And even after losing Christian Yelich for the year, Jackson Chourio has turned into a star, and they knew he was going to be one early. That's why you give him the 8-year, $82 million extension before his debut. And coming into the year, talking to people around there, they said he pressed a little bit in spring training because he wanted to live up to that before his debut. And now he's relaxed. He looks calm. He's gone from hitting to the lower part of their order to being their leadoff hitter, 20-20 guy at 21 years old. Power, speed, he can go get it in the outfield. And that dude's going to be a really good player for a long time.
It's fantastic. Now he's slugging 550. They've been swept once, and that was at Philly. Been swept once. Obviously, they're tough series to series. So we talked about speed. Take a look at this. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And this measures, pure speed, fastest average sprint speed on the club. Brewers are number 1. Phillies, even with Kyle Schwarber up there, number 2. They've got enough fast guys that are up there. Well, that's what we think. We think Harper and Schwarber, but it's a lot of speed on the Phillies as well. I mentioned the versatility of the guys on the Phillies. I think they have 3 guys who are base runners and defenders, but the Brewers have 5, and they are number 1 overall.